Welcome to The Explainer. This is where we take really complex topics and, well, turn them into clear, visual guides you can actually use.
Okay, so let's be real. If you've suddenly spotted a new, weird rash on yourself or maybe someone you care about, yeah, it's totally natural to feel a bit worried. But today, we're going to swap out that worry for some clear, solid information about Mpox.
So here's what we're going to cover. We're going to walk through everything from how do I even know if it's Mpox, all the way to when do I absolutely need to call a doctor? It's a clear roadmap. Okay, let's just dive right in.
All right, first things first. Let's tackle that huge question right at the top. How in the world do you know if what you're seeing is actually Mpox? You know, the name Mpox might sound pretty new to a lot of us, but believe it or not, this virus has been on our radar for decades. It's part of a virus family called orthopox virus. And what's important is that its symptoms, especially that rash, are actually pretty unique compared to other common sicknesses. Okay, now this is super helpful. Let's compare Mpox to something most of us know, chickenpox. I mean, they both have rashes, right? But here's the kicker. With Mpox, you often get these swollen lymph nodes. You really don't see that with chickenpox. So that is a huge critical clue you need to look out for.
So the Mpox rash isn't just one and done. It actually goes through some very specific stages. Understanding this progression is absolutely key to identifying it. Think of it less like a single spot and more like a timeline. And boom, here's that timeline. See how it starts out as these flat little spots? Then they get raised, fill up with clear fluid, which then turns kind of cloudy, and finally, the scab over. Now listen up, because this is probably the most important part. You are contagious that entire time, right up until those last scabs have completely fallen off and fresh skin has formed underneath. And that whole process, it can take up to 4 weeks. Yeah, 4 weeks.
Okay, so what if Mpox is confirmed in your home? The next step is protecting everyone else. It's all about taking the right steps to clean and isolate, and you really got to be systematic about it. And when we say systematic, we mean it. The order you clean in is so important. You want to start with the obvious stuff, right? Like used bandages. Get that waste out first. Then you move on to laundry. And only after that do you start disinfecting surfaces. Why this order? Well, it's all about not accidentally spreading the virus around while you're trying to clean up. It's just a smarter way to do it.
And hey, let's not forget about our pets. This is a big one. Any mammal, so we're talking dogs, cats, you name it, can get infected. That means, and I know this is hard, no cuddling, no sharing the bed. And you have to keep them away from any soiled laundry or bandages. It's so important for keeping them safe while you're getting better. Now, let's talk about some simple but seriously powerful tools, masks and gloves. If you're the one who's sick, a well-fitting mask and gloves help keep the virus contained. And for anyone helping out or caregiving, they're a crucial layer of protection, especially when you're cleaning or just need to be nearby. And just one more thing, the second those gloves come off, wash your hands. Every single time.
So we know anyone can get Mpox if there's close contact. But it's really important to understand that for some people, the risk of getting seriously sick is much higher. And this is why it matters so much. If you or someone in your house fits into one of these groups, you have to be extra careful about preventing exposure. And you need to talk to a doctor at the very first sign of symptoms. Things like a compromised immune system or even a skin condition like eczema can really complicate things.
All right, so you'd think once the rash is gone, it's all over, right? Well, not always. For some people, the journey continues. We're starting to learn about the long-term effects. You could almost think of it as a kind of long Mpox. Get this, a recent study found that 58%, that is a huge number, more than half, of people who had Mpox had at least one lasting physical effect after they got better. And the most common one? Scarring from where the rash was.
And this quote, it just says it all, doesn't it? The impact of this virus really can be more than skin deep. It can stick with people and affect their lives long after the contagious period is over.
And look at this, it's not just physical. The social and emotional hit is huge. We're talking almost half of patients saying their social life was still affected long after they recovered. And a big chunk felt stigmatized or had other personal struggles going on. It really takes a toll.
Okay, we've gone through a lot of information. So what's the single most important thing to take away from all this? It's simple. Knowing exactly when it's time to call a doctor. And the good news is the advice here is super clear. No gray areas.
So here it is, the bottom line. Do not wait. If you have a new rash, any new rash, especially if you've also got a fever, chills, or those swollen lymph nodes we talked about, you need to make the call. And please, remember this one crucial step. Call your doctor's office before you head over. It's so important because it gives them a chance to get ready and make sure other people in the clinic stay safe.
Look, at the end of the day, all this stuff, understanding the symptoms, knowing the rash stages, having a plan, that's what turns that initial worry into real, useful awareness. Your best protection really is knowledge. And when you stay informed, you're not just protecting yourself or your family, you're looking out for your whole community. So I'll leave you with this. What's one thing you learned today that you can share with somebody else?